Welcome to the Tomsic Analysis with David Tomsic.
So how many of you like zombie movies? That's right, the old-fashioned George Romero zombie movie. Hi, I'm David Tomsic. I'm back at Chico Pacella with my coffee, a muffin, and you. It's November 20th, 2024. And I was at a prayer meeting this morning, and it occurred to me that over my years as a transition has happened in my life from that right-wing guy that wanted to blow up everybody and using nuclear weapons and kill them all and let God sort them out, I have been being dealt with on a spiritual level. Yes, a spiritual level. And if you've watched any of my videos recently, you realize I've been basically calling for people to understand that life is precious. The hatred we've seen rise up during this election period and beyond is unacceptable to me. Now, there's nothing I can personally do to change it, but today I want to give you maybe some insight onto where that all begins. It begins with what Jesus said, love thy neighbor as thyself. Hatred is really a cancer. It spreads. And in this election, more than anything, I've seen it spread through right-wing groups. Now, many of those folks might disagree with me, but I hear today how they somehow think that they got over on somebody because Donald Trump won. Now, I've explained in other videos that I believe Donald Trump isn't the answer, that he might be worse than the disease in many ways. But we want things to be done now. I mentioned the Barabbas effect, how the Jewish people called for Barabbas's release and Jesus' crucifixion. You see, because Barabbas was a revolutionary. He was going to give them what they wanted now, freedom from Rome. Today, we wanted freedom from all the things we disagree with here in this country, whether it's abortion or transgenderism or even an economic freedom we think that we can get from a guy who promised us everything. No, I've gone over the economics side of it. I've proven in last night's video that the things we thought that Donald Trump did during his first 4 years really was mostly rhetoric and a lot of lies. I debunked it, but that doesn't matter. People don't want the truth today. They want something they can grab onto, they can hold on to now, something that can be done for them now, and they can leave it all behind. Give it to somebody else to do. Do whatever it takes. Break the law, change the Constitution, kill people, detain people, put people in prison, because they're all bad guys. Well, if you like zombie movies, and I used to love zombie movies, there just isn't as many good ones made today. And George Romero actually had his first zombie movie right here in southwestern Pennsylvania, 1968. It was creepy. Black and white movie that kind of watched people become zombies. And of course, subsequently, they sent people out to kill the zombies, shoot them in the head. Now, at one time, these people would have been humans, would have been part of the community, and suddenly became outcasts because they were dead and became zombies. Now, as crazy as this may seem, I believe this is the first time we started dehumanizing people. Because when you looked at them, they were people. We have to understand that in our minds, you think that would be taboo to shoot people, to kill people, but it's not. Recently, well, since the Vietnam War in the 60s, we started dehumanizing people. The Viet Cong, gooks, whatever they call them. We had to go and we had to kill them. We had to kill everybody. They were evil. They were against America, although they really weren't. Far off in an Asian land, far east, a half a world away, we somehow became enemies. They're on the enemies list. Let's move forward. Even in the United States, the Indians became enemies. We had to kill them because we wanted to take what they had. Sound interesting? Now, the United States will go and tell everybody in the world that someone who attacks another nation for whatever reason is an apartheid state, is evil, are bad guys. Of course, we won't talk about what we've done in Iraq and Libya, in any other country that we've attacked, that we've changed their leadership, overthrown governments, murdered people. We don't talk about that because, you see, they're all bad guys. We somehow dehumanized them. The Japanese, they were evil. They attacked Pearl Harbor. So we had to nuke them. We had to put those in this country that were naturally born citizens in internment camps. They were the bad guys. We dehumanized them. Black people, they were black. We had to dehumanize them. We called them every name in the book. Now we call it racism. But there's still a way to dehumanize black people today. There's still people dehumanizing every nationality. Being an Italian, we were wops. We were less than human when we came over from Italy. This is the nature of man. But you think we should have overcome this. You think right-wing Christian people would overcome this. But if you listen to the visceral hatred towards Democrats, towards people that disagree, we dehumanize them. We dehumanize people because it makes it easier to get away with doing whatever we want with them. The Israelis look at the Palestinians as not human. We've built up the terrorist factor. They are enemies, all of them. And according to Rudy Giuliani, even 2-year-olds should die because they're going to come after Americans. We've dehumanized them. They all must die. Now, you go to the New Testament, which we are in. We are in the age of grace. You would think that Christians especially, all these people that profess that they're somehow Christians, would understand Jesus' words. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Who's your neighbor? Everybody. Even if they aren't a Christian, God's hope is that they find Jesus and accept him and are welcomed into the family, no matter what color, race, or creed they are. But here in America, we're not allowing that. Immigrants are now, the enemy. We're willing to break families up like Donald Trump did in his first term, separated the children from the parents. That was a fear tactic used to sway people from not coming here. Inhuman, yes. Brutal, yes. He again wants to do similar tactics in his next term, when he wants to deport up to between 11 and 20 million people. Whether they're here legally or not. Yes, whether they're here legally. They want to be able to reverse anybody that has become a citizen to still get rid of them. See, because they're not like us. They're not white and rich. And that's what it comes down to. He wants to move homeless people. He has a plan. Homeless people are evil. They're all drug addicts and murderers and rapists. We have to get rid of them, hide them. No one wants to see them. No one wants to see the failures of these presidential candidates as they've went across the country saying they're for everything except helping those that are less fortunate. Political parties that have given up on these people. They're now the enemy. They're in the way. We have to see them as we walk by. He wants to move them somewhere away from civilization. Yeah, maybe give them some health care and some food, but as long as they're out of sight, they're out of mind. Not trying to fix the problem, not trying to fix the real reason they're in the streets. And tax cuts and tariffs isn't going to fix anything. We are in debt, and we are a debtor nation. And maybe that's sort of our punishment now, as we've dehumanized the world. Everybody. We've dehumanized Chinese, Koreans, Arabs. We've dehumanized people from Mexico, from South America. We've dehumanized anybody that doesn't agree with us, which makes it easier to dispose of them. Is that you? Do you feel that way? I got a message for you. God says this, in the words of Jesus, love thy neighbor as thyself. Now, there are a lot of things happening as we move towards the new year. Wars, rumors of wars. We're looking at escalations. We're looking at a change in our government from a left-wing leaning president to a very far right-leaning president. The country has shifted. Sadly, not always for the right reasons. So as we go into this holiday season, as you can see here, as I mentioned last time in Chico, the tree is up. There were 30 or 40 kids coming in, teenagers with signs, 2,000 turkeys to raise money here in Washington County for the homeless, for poor people who don't have money to buy that turkey. And I commend them. Our town is decorated. And I think last time I said the Christmas festival was this weekend. It's not. It's December 6th here in Candaceburg. Remember that if you're in the area. But I think that we dress everything up. You see, it's a way again to forget the realities of our world. To forget the fact that the world is at war. The United States is at war with everybody. Americans are at war with people inside their country, the enemy within. As many of Trump's new appointees will tell you. And there will be a war against those people. Many of us who disagree may become those enemies, may become disposable, maybe be like the zombies that George Romero first put on the big screen. And those zombies had to be killed. I pray that that doesn't happen. But I pray that those of you who've watched this video will have a change of heart. Will realize that hatred, as I mentioned before, doesn't befit us. We're to put our hand out to help. In the words of Neil Diamond, put your hand in your neighbor's hand and pull them up and have the other hand in God's hand. That's what we're supposed to do. So those of you that consider yourselves right-wing nationalists or Zionists or any type of Christian, it's time to bury that hatchet. It's time to put the weapons down. It's time to love thy neighbor. Because if we don't, this country will feed upon itself. It will collapse. We will have civil war. And right now, without change, I see that coming. With the advent of the Trump administration and what's happening around the world, this could get very ugly very fast. It's all the time I have. God bless you. I'll see you next time here on the Thompson Analysis. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Live stream Thursday night. That's tomorrow night at 7. So if you get this message, watch us. Not sure the title yet there, but we're going to continue to keep the heat on and keep making sure that we have videos that hit home, that get to the truth and get through all the lies and the deceptions of this world. Because the devil is a deceiver, and he's playing both sides against the middle. And don't forget, your only hope is Jesus Christ. God bless you. Again, don't forget to watch your favorite channel, the Thompson Analysis.
Thank you for watching the Thompson Analysis. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share this video, and keep an eye out for our next video.